Well, I kind of reached a stopping point on the Polaris for a little while, and while the wind is absolutely dying down, I'm going to take a chance and tint the windows on the boat. In a previous life, this is what I used to do. This is how I got through college, was I tinted windows and in autos and or cars, and I got pretty good at it. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, that's all I did was just tint windows, tint windows, tint windows. Worked for a Honda dealership. All I did was Hondas for a while. So it's been a long time. So what I did is I went over to my old supplier. They're still in business, Sunx International. They're over in Plano Road, and they do sell to the public. They sell wholesale window tint to the public. So if you feel like you want to try to tackle this, you can do that. So what I did is I got 75 feet of 20%. At 36 inches by 25, I'm sorry, 75, I don't know how to do that, it's 36 by 25, so I got 25 feet of 36 inches, and it only cost me $33, and I got some extra stainless OFA blades, which I'll show you in a second, and still had some of my old stuff. So what we need to do this is, we need our little squeegee, we've got our OFA blades, and my OFA knife, which is over here. I've had this, oh look, I've now lost it again. Nope, right here. I've had this thing for 20 plus years. This is what you use to do the window tinting. So they're always stainless blades is what you use because you're going to be dealing with water. So I got me a 10 pack of stainless, and you got your flat razor blades to scrape the window. I got this called a corner tool, so you can get back into the corner of the window and kind of tuck it down, make sure you get all the dirt and trash out of it. And the soapy water. I used an old CO2 tank that they used for soda machines back in the day, and we used to pressurize it with compressed air. That way we had tons and tons of water when we were doing a bunch of cars each day. And then of course you got your paper towels. Now of course this is not the best thing to do, is be tinting outside, but it is flat glass. This is the easiest glass in the world to tint. If you've got flat glass, really you shouldn't have any problems. So I'm going to walk you through what I do to throw the window tint up there. Shouldn't take very long. All right, so what I did is I first started by putting on cleaning the top part of the glass. Now this is on the outside of the window, so I cleaned the top part of the glass, and I put down a little bit of water, laid out some film, cut it to a rough shape, sprayed some more water, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of smooth it out all the way to the edges, so that way I can trim it with my nifty OFA knife. Okay, so you can kind of see right down in here how I can kind of press with my finger, and then I advance the blade just a little bit, and I'm going to press down inside here, and I'm just going to cut straight down all the way around. Now I'm going to put the camera down and do this with two hands, just because it takes two hands to be able to push everything up in there and get it nice and neat. Now in a boat, it's going to be real hard to get the edges all the way perfect, but you know, this is designed for kind of a 20-footer appearance. That's about it. All this is just appearance. It has nothing to do with any type of protection or anything like that, like it does in a car. Okay, so now I've got it cut to the outside of the window, and it's all up against the edges all the way around. I have to go on the inside of the window and clean the inside of the window, because it is going to be filthy, and you got to get all the dirt off before you try to lay this back down. Okay, so the way that you clean it, God, this thing is hot. The way that you clean the window is with a straight razor blade. You spray it down with water, just like this, and you scrape the crap out of it. Now what I like doing, because this is an older window seal, is I'm spraying a lot of water down in there to get completely all the dirt and garbage down out of the way. I'm not too concerned with it, but you know, hey, might as well do it a little bit right. Anyway, so I'm going to scrape this with the razor blade, and then you squeegee all that water off when you're done. Well, I kind of had to move ahead a little bit. The wind started picking up, and I couldn't spare the time to sit and explain every single step. I ain't gonna lie, there's a little bit of trash in there. I hadn't done this in 15 years, but I think for being outside, wind kicking up a little bit, and not having touched a piece of tint in 15 years, it's good. I mean, you have to get right up on it to see any of the dirt. They're kind of some up in the corners, in the edges and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, at 20 feet, even hell, 4 foot, it ain't gonna make that big of a deal. But you can see how nice it came out. Just really transforms this boat. Gives it that, you see the little stealthy look. I recommend this for everybody. Now these are flat glass, so it makes them a lot easier. They still look darn good. So, to go back over where I was, I got a piece of tint in here. Now I can kind of spend some time and show you exactly what I did. Basically is, once you clean the window from the inside, you can see that, actually let me turn this around and show you. The way that you peel the tint is actually in your mouth. And you find a corner where you want to peel from, and use your teeth in a put the tint between your teeth and kind of push. It's kind of one fell swoop with your bottom teeth going outward on your top teeth, and then your tongue coming between them to split the two pieces of tint, the clear backing and the tint itself. So see how I kind of split that? And this is the clear stuff is what you discard, and the stickiness is right there. And as you peel that back, you're spraying, and yes, you get water and soap in your mouth and all that kind of junk like that. That's why I use Johnson & Johnson's No More Tears when I window tint, just because it doesn't get in your eyes, it doesn't make your eyes burn, and it doesn't taste too darn bad either, so it's not horrible. But once you get all that peeled back and you've razor bladed the window, got all nice and clean, you basically spray another coat on it to provide the lubricant, and then you gently put the window tint on there. Try not to touch anything else, because the minute you touch this piece of tint anywhere, it's going to pick up the dirt and the trash. And of course I touched a couple of places, but like I said, I hadn't done it in a long time. But I actually took this to a couple of window tint places, and they wouldn't touch it, which I don't understand. I guess they're so busy in this economy, they're living the high life, and they didn't want to touch it. One guy quoted me $500 to do what I did in 25 minutes. So, I mean, I guess, you know, if you're a little adventurous and kind of deal with the window tint, the main thing is just not to crease it. And then once you get it up on there, it's going to be full of bubbles, and you take that little orange squeegee that I showed you earlier, and it's over here somewhere. Is it in there? Yeah, that little orange squeegee right there. And you just slowly out from the center, up, center, out, center to the left and down. And then just, you know, you basically go in a star pattern out like this, so that way you're kind of stretching the window tint. Because if you don't, you get these little things. They're called fingers. And I have to wait for those to kind of dry out a little bit, because this one I couldn't stretch really good because the dash was in the way. So you got to wait for the sun to heat it up a little bit, so that way you can rub it back out. So I don't know, I'm happy. For 25 minutes worth of work and $40 worth of window tint, you can't beat it.